Hello. I want to talk a little bit about something that just happened recently called the Developer Wishlist results. So, at the Developer Summit in California at the beginning of January, we had a whole bunch of people together, and I can't take credit for this idea. I believe it was Gergo's idea to put together a developer wish list. So, um, wish lists are kind of a thing, I guess, now in the 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 Wikimedia movement. We have a team at the foundation called Community Tech, and they've run a community wish list for 2 years now, where they basically open up a timed period, a blocked period, where you can propose ideas that would help improve your experience working with wikis within the MediaWiki world. Anything from search to editing to reading to gathering data and displaying information other ways and things like that. And so we kind of being the developers at the summit said, okay, we should do this. We should do one of these for developers. What would make developers' lives working in and around our community better? And so I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who knows more about this than I, we opened it up for a few weeks, and we had a whole bunch of submissions. I want to say we had, oh, there they are right there. We had 76 proposals in 7 different categories, a total of 952 votes. And the result was they get associated with or create, our new tasks were created in Fabricator, our task tracking system we use within the movement. And so what this means is now, after all this voting and all these proposals and all this voting, is now we have kind of a prioritized list of things that would make developing within the MediaWiki and Wikimedia world a little easier. Number one here is one that's been around forever, I think, since we switched to Fabricator from Bugzilla, which is suggest possible duplicates when creating a task, which is always a fun thing to try to guess how would people phrase their tasks and what would work in a search to find those. But I wanted to share this with you and just kind of show, encourage you to take a look at what these tasks are. If you have comments, if you have suggestions, if maybe you've solved some of these in your own work or have ideas for how we might solve them, the Fabricator tasks are all linked over there, and you can go and see what's being discussed now and who's working on it or not working on it. Or if it's something you want to work on, if something you're like, I really want to help with this thing with documentation or some actual code development. Or just some cleanup. Some of these tasks were like getting rid of stuff that's kind of cruft and that's kind of been around for a while. We're looking for help. Help wanted. I guess I should put a big sign up here that says help wanted. But this is kind of a cool process. This is a very community-driven process. Again, it was discussed just a few months ago. It happened very quickly, and the result was what I think is a pretty solid list of things we all generally agree, like, yeah, okay, this is kind of a pain, or oh, this needs to be improved. And I hope we do it again. I hope it's something that we can continue to do as a way of reaching out to the community, you all being included in that community, to get that kind of feeling for what would make things easier as far as development goes. While I have the stage, I'm going to abuse my power here. I do want to share one other thing really quick. Somebody asked a little bit about community metrics, and some might disagree with the validity of these numbers, but we do have a page on MediaWiki.org called Community Metrics, and we do try to keep track of some rough numbers on statistics around who's contributing, where they're coming from, code review times, active users, that sort of a thing. And we're working on one of the folks within the foundation and a few others are building a dashboard type interface. That looks terrible. Well, technology is grand. I have a feeling it's probably an Edge thing, yeah. Okay, let's try this here really quick. The one true browser. Okay, did I not click on that? What happened there? Okay. Oh, there it is, okay. Don't import anything, yeah, okay, great. I feel like anytime there's tech demos that don't go right, there should be some like elevator music playing in the background. Oh my gosh, okay. No thanks. I promise. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, so, all right, look at me, I can use a web browser. um, so this is just kind of some interesting statistics around, giving an overview of the community. We're doing lots of work in cleaning things up and sorting things out, things that were upstream with other libraries, sometimes got mixed in with things, lots of other things. So this isn't super duper solid, but it is really great too because we include things like mailing lists and other sort of bits of demographic information. So like on all of our mailing lists across the movement, again, not just MediaWiki, you can kind of see what organizations and frequency of emails and things like that. If we go over here to this main one, I like this one here. If we scroll down and we look at, again, these are obviously worth a grain of salt here, but we can kind of see like who's contributing the most as far as code contributions and things like that, and actually independent people show up as a majority at the moment. Again, worth a grain of salt here. That's one of the problems we're having is like Fabricator's an upstream thing. So if we include code contributions from Fabricator upstream in these statistics, it kind of skews things, which is a giant asterisk next to trusting this. But it is something we're trying to improve. We just recently switched to this I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Biterga system, and it'll be continued to be improved and added upon. But if you ever want to look at them or are curious yourself, you can go out to MediaWiki and just search for, oh boy, just search for community metrics and you'll get to this page and there's all this information's out there. So just a little bit of a tidbit if you're curious. I don't have an answer to that question. I know Andre was doing some stuff with email addresses and picking apart if your email address is, so-and-so.gov or so-and-so.org, identifying, like, we have a lot of, like, again, the example with Evan Priestley is that his email address is something like .facebook in his contributions, and so we can filter those out by organization. So in theory, I'm sure if I clicked around there, probably I could find something to filter down on MITRE and see who the people were from MITRE that were contributing, so in theory. But yeah. Any questions, any thoughts? Okay, I'm done.